What is up, folks? Nick Battle, aka Nino's Corner. Man, what is happening? This is the first show that we're going to do, Texas at Alabama, the first live call-in show that I am doing. I am excited about this one. Look, to call in, it's going to be like a Paul Feinbaum kind of show, right? So to call in, use the EVMux code that is in the actual video description, or I think I have it pinned also, like to the comments. So if you want to call in, have your comments, hey, look, just do it. Yeah, so it might ask you to have your picture up or your sound. Definitely have your sound. You can have your picture as well. But look, I'm not going to put you on the screen. We're going to hear you from the background. So it doesn't matter if your picture's up or not. But we're going to talk this Texas ball, man. So don't be afraid to call in. If you want to call in, voice your opinion. We can talk anything about ball, man. This is what this is about. Hit that link in the actual video description, EV Mux link, and it's going to take you. That is the guest link to come in and talk. But folks, man, we're going to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. We're going to talk about the Texas versus Alabama matchup here this week. What do we like? What do we didn't like from Texas? Um, Alabama. How did Alabama look? Yes, the score looked great, 56-7, but there are some chinks in that armor too as well. Things that I think we want to talk about, man, straight up is Texas has to hit that deep ball. But if Texas can't hit the deep ball, man, guess what? We got to be able to go down drive for drive very methodically. What's up, Ladarius, man? What's up, Hicks? I see Odd Futures in here as well. First off, let's do this a shout out to everybody. We got Hicks in here. We got Odd Future. We got Quentin. Those are some go-to guys who are always here for the show. Who else we got? Dustin. What's going on, Dustin? Good to see you in here, brother. Um, yeah, man. Dustin, like I said, anybody who wants to call and hit that link. But look, we're going to talk about what I think are some strengths and some weaknesses on this team. You guys let me know in the comments or on the call line. Just this team, man, the Texas offensive line, the interior of the offensive line is something that has to get fixed. And I think that's something we got to look at, man. This team has to get better on the inside. I tell you what, to not have the interior of the line kind of solidified yet, man. We had Jake Majors there. He's a 4-year starter, and I got some film that I was showing around, just some different plays of him, and man, he was getting tossed around pretty well down there, man. Also to have Cam, not Cam, Campbell, what I'm saying. So DJ Campbell, and also Hayden Connor. Campbell goes out, man. Hayden Connor actually goes over to the right guard, which is very shocking. But Neto comes in. Neto's nasty, bro. Shout out to Neto. Shout out to his brother Zena, who just committed today. Hicks, what's going on, man? He said, looking forward to seeing the O-line adjustments for this game. If we get better protection up front, I think Quinn hits those deep routes better. I do too. Quinn has to step into those Quinn has to step into those throws, but it's very hard to step into throws when somebody's in your face, right? And so, yeah, I totally, just kind of feel you on that same point, man. We got to block better on the interior, especially on the interior of that line, the center and the two guards, man. But look, I was kind of shocked to see Neto be the first person off the bench. I didn't know he was going to be the sixth offensive lineman. I thought that was going to be Cole Hudson, but I don't know if Cole Hudson's dealing with an injury per se or not. But I tell you what, man, Neto played nasty and he played physical, man. Let's take a look here. We have way better conditioning, at least after playing in a 160-degree field. Well, Cape, let me tell you something, man. I am in Alabama right now for the military, purposes. I'm in Montgomery. It's hot as hell here too, man. It's hot as hell. It's consistently 98 to 100 to 102. So I don't think the heat's going to be different, man. Actually, it's so much more humid here. It's like being in Houston. It's humid as hell. So look, I don't know if the heat's going to be that big of a difference. It's the South. It's always hot in the South. Texas is a different heat. Yeah, I get it. But yeah, man, it is what it is. Yeah, so game temperature going to be at 75. That is true because it is a night game. I didn't think about that. But it is hot as hell here during the day here in Alabama. Like I said, I'm in Montgomery. It's hot as hell. But man, that interior offensive line, I was shocked to see Neto be the first person off the bench. But man, he played well. He solidified that left side of the line. Him and Kelvin Banks were really good in the run blocking. Texas has to force Alabama to know that we can do something really great in that game. And I think if we can run on that left side of the game, which of course them to roll more coverage over there, more people on the line to to our left side of the line. Maybe we can start to do some play actions to the right side of the line, what have you. But I'm telling you, man, it's going to be a good game. I don't think people are giving this team enough credit. I think Texas is going to show up pretty well here. I already have my prediction, and you'll see my prediction on our Friday. But man, I'm in love with this game. This is going to be a really good game. It's going to be a lot closer than people are giving it credit for. Uh, Texas, man, the deep ball. We got to talk about the deep ball question. The deep ball, man, Quinn hasn't been able to hit that deep ball yet. It's something that he has to do. I don't know what he is going to have to do to be able to hit that deep ball. I think if the blocking is better, and I think Hicks said this, man, if the blocking is better, yes, Quinn can step into those throws, make those throws even better, be able to hit those deep balls, man, and do some great things. Because we did have X. X was streaking. He was streaking, man. He was 4 or 5 yards behind. Um, who else, man? Adonai Mitchell. He had a great play. He was a couple yards behind too, which it should have been a pass interference call, but it wasn't. But he had some steps from the guy. Quinn, I think Quinn threw off his back foot, man, and the pass ended up being just a tad bit short. But I tell you what, man, if we can step into those passes, if our line can give him enough time, I think we're going to have some good things. Why does no one talk about Nair anymore? Like he said, no, well, not that he's a non-factor, Quentin. It's just that he's coming off that knee injury. We got to really see, like, no kidding, honestly, how comfortable is he on that knee? He looked good on that pass from Murphy. Murphy passed the ball like 100 miles per hour to him. He caught it. Um, so it's just going to take time. And plus we got, Mitchell and also. So those kind of guys, man, they're kind of like those boundary guys, even though Nair is actually backing up Xavier Worthy, which I thought was kind of interesting. I thought he'd have been more of the backup, to Mitchell, but he's backing up Worthy. And I think maybe that's in the case that somebody gets injured. Let's say Jordan Whittington goes out. Then we have pieces where we can play, and maybe we can put X in the slot and have him do his thing where Jordan Whittington was, keep Adonai Mitchell where he was on the boundary, and then have Nair out there on the field side. So basically making sure that we always have our best group of wide receivers no matter what happens. Our future, what's going on, man? Unleash Jaden Blue, in my opinion. He's high key slippery with the missed tackles. Yes, Jaden Blue. First off, guys, if you want to dial in, anybody want to dial in, the link is in the description for this video. You can say your piece. You don't got to type. You can say your piece. Let's have some fun. But also, folks, like and comment, subscribe to these videos, man. It helps me grow the channel a lot. But yeah, our future, I'm with you. Jaden Blue. A lot of people love to forget Jaden Blue was the number one running back in the country, folks, before he went his senior season and didn't play his senior season. A lot of people love to forget that. This kid has great balance. He has great juice, great wiggle, great vision. I'm telling you, man, an awesome player. He did great things in that game. I love what I saw out of Jaden Blue. Yeah, man, it's just good to know that our running back room is something that is still something to be coveted, right? We lost Bijan, we lost Rojo, understood. But look, I was hoping that this offensive line would be a lot better than it was last year, and so that the actual production here would kind of stay the same by committee. But look, the line has to get better. We're going to get better this week, folks. They have been planning for this game for months. Believe it, folks. They've been planning for this game for months. So with that being said, they're going to play a lot better, and it is what it is on the on that line. Even though it is in Alabama, I totally understand that. I totally get it. But I think Texas has a really good shot at this game. Sark has something up his sleeves. One thing I will say. What's up, Isaac? What's going on, brother? One thing I will say is when it comes to Sark, the main thing that we got on him about last year was the lack of adjustments in the second half. Now, mind you, this last game against Rice, we had a horrible first half as far as execution, right? Jay Brooks dropped a sure touchdown. There was a misstep there where Quinn threw a perfect ball to Sanders, and Whittington was in the same area. The guy who was guarding Whittington hit the ball out of Sanders' hand. That was another touchdown. We literally left probably 8 more points on the board. If that's the case, we are going into halftime, up 24-3. Looks completely different than what it did, but that's what week ones are for, especially when you win. They're teachable moments, and those are teachable moments. Folks, if you're just joining, hit that link in the description or the pinned comment on this video. It's my EV Mux link. If you click it, all you need is internet, folks. It'll take you right here, and you can have a personal phone call and voice your opinions here about that game, man. Okay, you can voice your opinions about that game. I'm going to keep you behind the green screen, so you don't have to put your camera up or not. Only thing people are going to hear is your voice. So click that link, man, so that you can come in here and have a phone call with me and voice your opinion, because I want to hear you guys' voice. I want to hear you guys' voice. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Quentin, yes, Middle Tennessee sacked Bama 3 times. Yeah, look, man, I was talking to Ty from ATS Sports, man. That's my dude. We just got off a channel, the SEC Connect channel that me, him, Steven, Chris with a K, and Unfair Sports has together. Jay from Unfair Sports, and we were talking about that. This Alabama line, I think they've been doing a lot of propaganda from the Alabama side of the house as far as showing the height and weights of these guys, the intimidation factor, right? 6'5", 340-pound line. Got it. Alabama didn't run the ball too well at all in this game. They did not. I'm looking at the stats right now on just what happened. Alabama, they ran for over 200 yards. I will say that Miller had about 50 of those, but on the per person, I thought Alabama should have done a lot better on the ground than what they did. Jam Miller, I think, who might be with their might be probably their most polished running back. He only had 4 carries for 14 yards. Richard Young, 5 carries for 18 yards. Justice Hayes, he averaged about 7 yards a carry at 4 for 29. And then Williams averaged about 5 yards a carry. And then Jace McClellan averaged about 3.9 yards a carry. So, I was expecting that to be a little bit more dominant of a running game from Alabama, but they stuck at it. It's going to be very interesting. But Jalen Milroe is the truth when it comes to running that ball, man. But we got to be able to figure out, how do we stop Jalen Milroe, guys? How do we stop? You guys let me know, how do you think we're going to stop Jalen Milroe? Call in if you want to talk about how you think we're going to stop him. Hicks says, unleash Ethan Burke. Yeah, Ethan Burke did his thing, man. He had 1.5 sacks, which was more sacks than Ovie Oghoufo had all of last year. He had that in this game and probably could have had another sack or two if he could get the guy down to the ground. Now, one thing I will say about that, we got to wrap up better against Milroe, because Milroe's a lot stronger than JT Daniels. And if you miss on a tackle on him, he's going to take to the house. He's that explosive. I love Jalen Milroe's game, man. Seeing him play in high school out of Katy, Texas, was something outstanding, folks. So he's going to be a problem with his legs, man. I want to see what's going to happen if Texas can neutralize the running, and then we see exactly what kind of passer he is. What kind of offense is Tommy Rees going to unleash with him? Is he going to try to force him to do something, or is he going to play to his strengths? I think Tommy Rees is going to definitely play to his strengths. So we shall see. All right, Quinn, you said I don't. All right, Quinn, so what do you mean by that? I don't what? But let's see. Dustin said, yes, plus Baxter dropped that pass in the red zone. He did. But look, things that I want to talk about, folks. The Texas edge, right? What edge does Texas have against the Alabama team? I like Texas's defensive line. Seeing Sweat, Byron Murphy, Alfred Broughton. Yeah, Dustin, you're talking about Jonathan Brooks dropped that touchdown. But Broughton played his butts off, man. If y'all saw Broughton, go back and watch the game, watch the film. He popped off on that film, man. Talking to Nash Talks Texas, let's go. I was just talking about Nash. There he is. He said he's going to call in a bit. If you guys don't know, Nash Talks Texas is also Texas Clips, and that's where I get all my every play, or I don't have to sit there and watch 3.5 hours of film. I can watch Nash's condensed version, 45 minutes. Go subscribe and be a Patreon on his page. Nash brings some of the best content that we have here for the Texas Network. So, so I was saying about the Texas defensive line, right? So you have the Texas defensive line with Sweat, Coburn, I mean, not Coburn, Sweat, Murphy, Vernon Broughton. You got Baron Sorrell also, who's playing outstanding. You have Ethan Burke, who showed out and played well. Alfred Collins played well. I'm telling you, man, I like Texas's defensive line, and for them to be able to neutralize what some of the things that Alabama wants to do when it comes to running that ball. I think Texas is going to make Alabama a one-dimensional team, and this is going to be which defensive line is going to which defensive line is going to impose their will more on the opposing offensive line. Let me see, what did Don C say? OU fan here. I think if Texas is really like that this year, they got to go dominate Bama, who I personally don't think is better than they were last year. Don C, hey man, if you want to call in, Don C, hit that link in my description for this video, man. You can voice your opinion on that too, man. But look, thanks for actually tuning in here, man, and leaving that comment. But yeah, I'm with you. Texas has to go up here and show business, man. I was telling Ty from ATS Sports, I said, look, Bryce ain't coming through that door no more, man. Bryce ain't coming through that door. It's a different kind of game though. Bryce won a lot of games being Bryce because I think he was held back with with the actual coaching from Bill O'Brien. I thought that he kind of held him back there last year in the last couple years. Bryce won a lot of games being Bryce, which is crazy. He's just hella good, man. But yeah, I'm with you, Don D. Don C, man. Texas, I think Texas is that this year, but we just got to figure out exactly how good we can be. Future, what are you saying here? What's crazy is that the Texas D line is mostly 3 stars. Smells like development to me. It is a lot of development, but I won't say they're mostly 3 stars. Alfred Collins, he was a 5 star. Vernon Broughton was a high 4 star, near 5 star. I think Sweat was a low 4 star, if I'm not mistaken. Baron Sorrell was a 3 star. Ethan Burke was a 4 star. So I won't say most of them were 3 stars. I'll say he had some 3 stars sprinkled in there. Byron Murphy was a 3 star because of his size. Texas's defensive line was mostly 4 stars with one 5 star and a fringe 5 star guy on there. And then also you got to look at Sadir Mitchell, man. Sadir Mitchell is a big boy. Being 6'5", 330, 240 pounds, composite 4 star guy as well. And look, we got Quentin. Quentin, what's up, man? Can you hear me? All right, man. Can everybody hear Quentin? Just put a thumbs up in the chat, man. So I'll make sure that this is working. I don't see any thumbs up. But Quentin, go ahead and talk, man. What's going on? Yeah, hold on. Oh, he said you can't hear you. Let me add you. All right. Let's see if you can hear him now. Go ahead and talk, man.
I don't. I just. We need Quinn. We need Quinn to be Quinn. We need Quinn to be the 5 star that he is, the NFL prospect that he is. I'm not worried about anybody else.
Yeah.
I think our running game will probably look much of like it did last year. We'll 50 yards, 70 yards. We ain't gonna be able to run on them. Can't nobody run on Alabama at home. Nobody. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, man. Look, I got it's gonna be interesting, man. I don't think we can run on them either. I think we can run on them enough, maybe to break one. But yeah, you're right. It's got to be Quinn. He has to be confident. The line has to give him some protection. I want to see exactly what's going to happen here with the tinkering of that offensive line, man. So we shall see, man. But Quinn, man, thanks for joining in, brother.
Oh, no problem.
All right, bro.
Yep.
Don C, what's going on, man? Don C, what's going on, man? You're on mute. His connection went bad, so I'll take him off from the screen. But yeah, so just talking what Quentin said, man, it is going to be on Quinn. It's got to be on Quinn, man. It's got to be on Quinn. So here's Don C again. Let's see what Don C says. Yeah, man, we hear you now. What's going on, Don C?
All right, what's up, Nino, man? Appreciate you having me on,
Yeah,
brother.
man.
All right, so like I told you on Twitter earlier today, as soon as my team, I've been watching your channel for a while. It's actually crazy because I feel like you know, obviously I hate Texas, but I got to watch the Texas content creators because y'all tapped in, so I got to see what's going on with my enemy. But in all seriousness, like I really believe that like Texas, I'm kind of believing into the hype this year. Normally, I kind of dismiss y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you, but this year I'm kind of believing into the hype. And just looking at what I've seen from Alabama, and really this goes back to last year. If this is the year they're gonna do it, they got to do it now, because we're going into the SEC. Y'all going into the SEC too, right? So the competition only gonna get tougher moving forward, right?
Yep.
And we watched what happened with the Big 12 this past Saturday. Baylor lost. Texas Tech, who was getting a bunch of preseason hype, they got beat by Wyoming. So TCU they got beat by Colorado and Deion Sanders and whatnot. So like I said, I mean, just from where I'm standing, if they really like that, they got to do it on Saturday. And I think this game gonna go one of two ways. Either Texas gonna blow Alabama out and flex their muscle, because I really think Texas, their defense, this is where they're gonna have the advantage, in my opinion. I think their defense can control the game. Now, Quinn Ewers, um, from where I'm standing, he ain't looked the same really since he came back from that injury after Texas smacked up my team in the Cotton Bowl. Since that game, Quinn Ewers ain't really looked like how he looked against Alabama. That was kind of the apex of his season last year. But if he gets it back together, hit a few deep balls to Xavier Worthy, I really think if Texas is gonna win, they're gonna blow Alabama out. And if Texas lose, I think they're gonna get embarrassed. I don't think this is a close game. It's
You don't
going
think
one
so?
way or the other.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, man. I gotta see it, man. I'm with you though on the Texas defensive front. I think Texas can do their thing on the defense. They pretty much neutralized Alabama last year, and that was with Bryce, who he's a transcendent quarterback, right?
Right.
And so yeah, Texas did their thing. They neutralized them pretty well, and Texas didn't lose a lot from that defense. We lost Overshawn, which is a big loss, but we've replaced with a lot of talent. I think getting a Jalen Catalon is going to be huge for us in that back end. Even though we lost Coburn, I think we just got dogs on the line. So I think Texas can neutralize that. Everybody wants to, scream about the Alabama line and how big they are, 6'5", 340. But, if Texas wants to go big and they go with a lineup with Sweat, Broughton, Alfred Collins, Byron Murphy, you're looking at a line that's 6'4", about 330 pounds as well, right? So, so they can match up if they want to go big, right? So I'm excited about the matchup, but I think it's going to be a close game. I don't think Bama blows them out. Um, yeah.
Jalen
It's going to be
Milrow,
close.
I got to see him complete a pass because I watched that A&M game last year when he started, and I really wasn't that impressed. And I think Bryce really, he kind of he masked a lot of Bama's issues last year, even on the offensive line.
Exactly. He did.
He was just that talented, right? So, like I said, I ain't got no dog in this fight. Just from where I'm standing, I think Texas got that front seven can deal with the running game. And them stats you just laid out about how they ran the football, it seemed like that those yard per average wasn't that great against who was that Middle
Yeah.
Tennessee State.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, if you put all that together, I think Texas should go in there and do their thing. That's just my opinion.
Cool. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, man. Well, thanks, brother. I'm going to wait for somebody else to give a call, man. But thanks for the call, Don C.
Appreciate it.
All right, man. Yeah, folks. So it's a good call from an enemy, but look, man, it's all love over here, man, until week 6. Yeah. Hey, Bada, so what do you mean about this on is that the Proctor play when Proctor got he got cleated? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, he got decleated, man. Linebacker came down, hit him, and he went back like 6 or 7 yards, right? But yeah, folks, it's gonna be interesting. Bama's edge is how is Bama going to beat Texas? Bama's defensive line has to be unreal, I think, and I think Bama's line, I think, is going to be a better line against Texas, and I think Texas's defensive line is going to be a better line against Bama's offensive line. Like I said before, is who is going to dominate the lines the most. Quentin just said, "I'm just real. Bama don't lose at home." That is true. Bama is very good at home, but is this the same Bama team? And I know we say this every year. We say this every year. It is. It is. I mean, it's Bama, right? It's a Nick Saban coach team. But I want to see how this works. We got Cal coming in. Let's go ahead and let Cal in. Cal, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, Nino? Glad to be on.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for. Hey, big fan. Been watching for a while. But I just had one question. Someone brought it up, and y'all may have talked about it already. But what are your thoughts about using Jalen Catalon as a spy of sorts on Milroe? Because I feel like this is a game where we could gamble on his health. Honestly, like he's not the most healthy guy, and I feel like Ford, he's too valuable to put in spy only. Hill is too young. He's put in spy only, and Menda, honestly, I don't trust him to spy correctly. But I feel like Catalan is he's the perfect fit for taking a risk on that.
Oh man, that'd be interesting. But Catalan, I think he's such a playmaker. I think this is what hurts the most, having a guy like Mo Blackwell out, because Mo Blackwell was a safety who was converted down to linebacker, and I think he would have been a perfect spy, just to stay in front of Milroe, because everybody says that he hits hard as hell, he covers well too, also. So having him out this game, I think, is something that hurts. But I don't know if I would want Catalan to just spy. I want Catalan to make plays. That's one thing that this secondary was missing last year with turnovers, man. And I want Catalan to be a guy back there that's going to make plays. And I think if we bring him in to do that, it's just countering everything that we want Catalan to do for the season. So I don't know if I would do Catalan there, but maybe a guy like Derek Williams, man, who is a 200-pound, albeit, like he's a freshman and everything, but he's a 200-pound guy, 6 foot, who lays the wood, who is fast, who can go sideline to sideline, a lot like Overshawn could last year. But I don't know if Texas even spies him. I think Texas just tries to contain him and plays good, sound defense, and just see where it leads from there. If he starts gashing us, then maybe that's when Texas does try to do a spy. But I think Texas just tries to stay as disciplined as possible and not have to have anybody just dedicated to Jalen.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think they try and let the team beat them as opposed to Milroe.
Yeah,
and just don't take the risk on the spy with Ford, being too good to only put in the box, Bentham probably not having the skills maybe or the IQ to do it. Hill being too young, and Catalan, you just want him to be all over the field like Ford.
Yep. So same thing here. What Quentin said, we need Catalan roaming it back in. And yeah, I'm with that. And here's another one too. Quick pass game, mostly match protect on 5. Yep, exactly. So yeah, man. But look, man, thanks for joining in, brother.
Yeah, of course. I was watching in the background. I had a little file, decided to pop in. But
cool. Yeah, man. Well, cool, brother.
I'll stay tuned in.
Yeah, thanks, man. All right. Our future says, why do I have a feeling that people aren't expecting Quinn to complete a deep ball, but he does for a TD? That's a good one. I think, look, it has to happen, right, our future? It has to happen. Quinn has to eventually get it, right? I mean, he has to complete a deep ball, hopefully pretty soon, man. So we had him there in the Washington game. We had 2 of them that were dropped, right? So Worthy dropped a couple of them, but we understood that Worthy had the broken hand. And so to see him get it last year towards the end of the season, I think it's going to continue to roll on. It didn't look too good in the first game, but look, man, maybe that was first game, just getting the jitters out the system kind of thing. Let's just hope. But I think Quinn's going to ball out. It's going to come a point to where the talent is there. All the talent is there for Quinn to do his thing, man. So I'm praying that Quinn does a hell of a job in this game on Saturday. I'm going to be at the game. So if anybody's going to be at the game, come and see me, man. If you see me, I'll buy you a drink, whatever, man. But yeah, I'm going to be at the game. So hopefully we do the damn thing, because I don't want to be embarrassed up there and all my burnt orange and I got all these people in crimson around me. They ain't going to be pretty, man. our future. I do believe Quinn's gonna do his thing too, man. I just got a good feeling about this game. I'm not gonna say a good feeling, but Texas is gonna be very competitive in this game. They're gonna be very competitive in this game. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think people are giving Texas a shot off of what they saw against Rice. And I think that is malpractice to think that what happened against Rice, that's going to be the deciding factor on what we do, in the upcoming game here. I just got a feeling Texas is coming to play. Same thing happened last year. I don't think people gave him a shot last year, and Texas did the damn thing. And Texas probably should have won that game. I ain't gonna say all that, but there was a safety in the end zone that they didn't call. But it is what it is. Let's see. Hicks says, I think our DBs match up well with Bama. Yeah, I do too. I think we got a strong defensive back room. Playing the boundary there, you got Ryan Watts, physical guy, man, who probably at the next level, he could play cornerback or safety at the next level. I mean, once Watts gets his hands on you, it's a wrap. He is going to move you around. And I think the beauty about that Rice game is that we didn't hear anything from the DBs, which is great, which means there were no pass interference calls, which means that passes weren't getting, they weren't getting actually completed on them, like at deep rates and at high clips. We didn't hear anything from that DB room, which was great. The only thing that we heard was Austin Jordan got an interception, and we saw Manny Muhammad do his thing, had some great coverage out there. But it was a very quiet day in the DB room, and that's exactly what you want from your defensive backs, man. So I enjoyed that. But I'm with you, though. I'm with you. I think Ryan Watts is going to be a big player to get some of those speedy guys off their route quick. If they're able to get around him quick enough, I think the intelligence of a Jalen Catalon and a Jaron Thompson are going to pay dividends here in this game too as well. I think whoever's starting on the opposite side, whether it's Terrence Brooks, Gavin Holmes, Manny Muhammad, I don't think Manny's going to start, of course, but he might get some snaps in this game. But I just got a really good feeling that they're going to do some really good things here. I liked how this DB room looked the last game. Now, in saying that, those wide receivers for Rice ain't the wide receivers for Bama. And so there's going to be some balls completed. But I think the weak point for Bama in the passing game is going to be Jalen Milroe until proven not, right? And so we know Jalen Milroe's strong point is him running the ball. Once Jalen Milroe has to come off that first read and has to start diagnosing the game, what do we think is going to happen? And my brother from another is on right now. Let's go hit up Nash. Nash, what's going on, baby?
Oh, what's up, man? Sorry, I was muting the other YouTube. I was on delay. So, all right. I just wanted to kind of talk, man. Like, I haven't gotten completely through the Alabama game. I had to go run some errands, but man, like, they don't seem undefeatable. How people are making that defensive backroom feel,
yeah,
and sound. Like, for example, a guy like Caleb Downs, I think, is a perfect example. Early on in the year, that this Alabama team is not going to be the same team that they are later in the year. Caleb Downs he is a tremendous athlete. Like Homer said, he can put himself in the wrong position but still be right.
Yep, exactly.
Because he's that athletic. But there was one play that stood out to me, man, and I know we're sitting here talking about the deep ball. I'm about to talk about the deep ball with Texas. So, who knows what happens there? But they had there was a guy that just had. I mean, he probably had 10 yards on downs.
Yeah,
over the top. And there were just times where the defensive line for Middle Tennessee, I'm like that. There's no way Texas defensive line plays this poorly.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like this is a legit Texas defense. I don't think people understand how good it's going to be. And regardless of what happens, we're going to have a fun time watching this game because it is NFL talent on both sides of the field all over.
Yep, I agree, man. I agree. I don't think people are giving this defense their credit because there are not a lot of household names in the defense. There's not a lot of, I would say, coverage. Bama gets all the coverage in, their conference. It is the best conference in the in the country. And so Nick Saban and Bama get all the coverage. They're going to have, like the Caleb Downs. Everybody knows Caleb Downs, how good he is. And he's a freaking amazing player. But Texas is starting to get those guys back again. But we don't have those household names. But a guy like Sweat is a guy that's, if he plays the way that he's been playing over those last 7 games of last year, and how he played against Rice, he's going to be an easy day 2 pick. 2nd or 3rd round pick, easy.
And that, what, for a super senior, that's fucking, excuse my language, sorry, but that's not coming up. But that's amazing, right? So for a super senior to be playing that high, playing themselves into that like stratosphere of being able to hit that level of a draft pick, that's just, it's amazing. And like you said, I mean, honestly, I think like a guy like Manny Muhammad, I think he's going to get a ton of reps.
Yeah, hopefully. We'll see. I'm not sure about a ton of reps. He's too talented to keep off the field, right?
Yeah. So when you talk about the spring game, I'll say this every single time I talk about the spring game. The only things I care about are wide receivers running routes, defensive backs covering those routes, and then the quarterback's ability to hit those routes.
Mm-hmm.
And Malik Muhammad, I mean, from him in a Texas uniform, I don't think I've seen a single rep of his or he has over 2 yards of separation on him. And if it is, it's just for a split second, and he's right back on their hip. I mean, he is a very talented cornerback, and it shows like Nick Saban really wanted him.
Exactly. I heard he was on the phone with him for an entire hour before he signed his paperwork. He was trying to.
Time is money for Nick Saban, so that's a lot of money right there to spend.
You know what I'm saying? That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. But it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I love our defensive backs, man. The cornerbacks, it's so deep, like you saw in the Rice game. This is finally like a room where we can just have multiple sets of cornerbacks at a time.
Yep.
And just interchange them and not have much of a loss, if any loss.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man. We'll see. Quinn, I'm not gonna put Quinn comment up there about Watts, but let's see what comment we got from Ladarius here. He said Sweat's going to play his way into a late round, first or early. Yeah, man. There's 2 things you can't teach, right? And everybody knows this is size and speed. And Sweat's 360 pounds at 6'4", 6'5", right? And so he has the size, and it's not sloppy weight either. When you hear somebody who's 350, 360, you're like, that's got to be sloppy, right? So it's not sloppy weight. He's just a big dude, man. And he has great footwork. He has great footwork for a big guy. This is a guy that played basketball in high school who was dunking all over the place and stuff like that. So he has great footwork. He's a really good athlete, especially for his size. And he just moves so quick. His hand placement is really good too. Nash, I was talking about, when you and Jay Bass sent the film over on Vernon Broughton and how he just popped off the screen.
I'm listening.
Yeah, man. So him popping off the screen was just freaking stupid, man. I mean, it was just stupid, but it was good to see Vernon Broughton kind of coming to his own. So I was really excited to, like to see that too.
He's a guy that I think can play that Sweat role next year, coming back as a super senior and really like trying to ball out and, maximize his draft ability.
Yeah. Here. So Ben says, I'll be interested in seeing if Texas decides to rush Milroe or contain. Honestly, I like to see the edges contain and work the flats. If Sweat can get pressure up the middle, flush Milroe, then Swarm. Yeah. Contain, play sound defense. See if they can make Milroe have to make decisions with his arm and not his legs. Keep him in the pocket. I'm with you. All right. Hey guys, if you guys want to join in for a call, hit that link in the description or on the pinned comment in the comments, man. Hit the link. You can dial in, man. You can join the stream and voice your opinion and not have to type. Okay. So let me see. Ben Swarm. So I was actually on Nash's show. When was that? Yesterday, Nash?
It was yesterday, yeah.
It was yesterday?
Because I always think the mornings. Yesterday might as well have been this morning.
Yeah, man. So if you guys don't know, Nash is on Orange Bloods. He has a show that he does at 6:30 in the morning, 6:30 to 7:30. So they had me come on and we talked about some stats and something that Texas has to clean up, man, is these third downs. So third downs, man. last year was horrible on third downs. I think third down in Texas had like 175 third downs last year. Over half of them, well, almost half of them, 100 is like 76 of them or so were third and longs, which are third and 7 or more. And Texas only completed about 13% of those third downs, right? So that's horrible. I think they had a third down completion rate for all third downs around 34, 35%, which is also horrible. So, yeah, they got to get better on third downs. They weren't too much better this year, against Rice as well. And so, just looking at those third down stats against Rice, we had 15 third downs. We were successful on 6 of them. And so we had a 40% rate of being successful on third downs. On third and short, though, which, I thought we'd have been a lot better. We were 1 for 4 on third and shorts, which are plays at 3 yards or less on third down. We were 1 for 4. So we've got to get better. And to piggyback on that, the blocking has to get better on third and fourth downs, man. I was surprised to see Gunnar Helm kind of whiff on the block. I saw it was him, it was Mitchell, both of them.
That disappointed me, man. Because
Yeah.
Gunnar Helm's a guy that I have a lot of respect for him because he's a good tight end.
Yeah, exactly.
And that play just was not indicative of who he is as a tight end.
Yep, and he's a hell of a blocking tight end too. So that's what kind of got me. Let's see what Odd Future says here. Oh, we got somebody dialing in. Michael's add him to the scene.
All right,
Mike, what's going on, man?
1 second, please. My camera's having a bit of issues.
Oh yeah, you good, man? You good?
If you care about that.
Nah, it's all good. You can have the camera, no camera, whatever you want.
All right, no problem. One moment, sorry.
Oh, no. Yeah.
You guys can continue.
All right, brother. So Don C, let me see it. So Odd Future says, Don C, the reports of him being Texas's most natural pass rusher is true. He got a lot of pressure. Yeah, so I guess he's talking about Anthony Hill. As soon as I read the comment, yeah, he has to be talking about Ant Hill. But yeah, Texas has to get better on third downs again, Dash, man. We've that's something that we haven't been too good at since we've had Sark here, and we just got to get better. We can't get behind in the chains either. And I think that's what we're doing on first and second downs. Maybe taking shots, maybe taking shots we shouldn't be taking right now, basically, on those first and second downs, which are causing us to have longer third downs. When we have those longer third downs, it's just harder to convert. Right. So,
and it's also, we're not at home. This is we're going to be at a away stadium with Alabama with 100,000 people in the stands. So it's just I don't want to be playing on third down where I'm listening to a bunch of crowd noise, because they got a graphic on the screen saying, "Hey, it's third down, get loud," right?
Yeah, no. Exactly. We got to do it 24/7. But first off, man, Don C, appreciate that super chat, man. He said, did you see my Sooners move up to number 4 and now the favorite in the Big 12 according to the computers? LOL. Keep up the good work, big dog. Man, Don C, appreciate that, man. All love until October in that damn half stadium of crimson and burnt orange, and it's going to get down and physical like it was last year, man. But, man, appreciate you, for that $20, man. Appreciate it. All right, Mike, you ready, man?
Yeah, sure. The camera doesn't seem to be working, so
it's all good, man.
Yeah, I just wanted an opinion, I suppose. It's been pretty controversial in the college football scene in general. What do you guys think about traps?
Traps like what?
Trap games?
Like feminine boys that shave all the hair off their body to get plugged up by urban meat.
This is
what the hell's wrong with that? No, you kick him off. I kicked him off the screen. He was still talking. You guys didn't hear that when he was still talking after I kicked him off?
Hey, at least he didn't get too wild. I mean, technically, I've said worse things for YouTube's monetization than he did. He might be weirding out the viewers, is all.
Yeah, Todd told you to be careful. Oh man.
All right, man. I'm about to have to go pull something out of the oven here, but yeah. Hey, it's put up or shut up time.
It is,
really
man.
What it comes down to.
It is, man. Definitely put up a shirt at a time. But man, hey Nash, appreciate it, man. I'm gonna be on yours too tonight, man. You're at 10 o'clock, right?
10:30.
All
10:30.
right, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'll be there.
All right. Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Man, that was crazy. Really crazy. All right, yeah. So stats are that look, I'm gonna pull up. Let me see. Oh man, explosive plays, right? Explosive plays. I'm going to pull this up. First off, let me share my screen here for a minute. I'm going to pull up something for you guys. You guys know I got my own website, so it's going to be ninoscornersports.com. I'm going to share the screen, and we're going to talk about. Let's see. Let's share the screen. I want to talk about explosive plays, right? And so, with me talking about explosive plays here. Okay, explosive plays. If you go to the website, ninoscornersports.com, go down to stats, right? If you go down to stats, we look at XPR, which is the explosive play rate. One thing that I want to talk about here, folks, is in the Casey Thompson era, I want you to hear this out for a minute. In the Casey Thompson era, when it comes to explosive play yards, passing, and explosive play rate, let's see, Casey passed for 2,635 yards in 2021. Yards per explosive play were around 27 yards, but explosive play rate for passing yards, 63%, almost 63% of our total yards passing came from explosive play yards, meaning plays. I track explosive plays as plays that are 20 yards or more passing the ball and 15 yards or more rushing the ball. Texas was highly explosive in 2021 with Casey Thompson. Now, the next year we get Quinn, right? We get Quinn. Our explosive play rate went down to 47%. 47%, folks. We were not explosive at all. So 47% of our total passing yards were explosive play yards. And now it's just a one-game sample here for 2023. 43% here for Texas this year, 43.7%, which, of course, it's a one-game sample, but that one game was against Rice. That number should be higher. We hit those deep balls, folks. It's definitely up. If those deep balls are up, we're looking at that's probably the XPRs are going to be in the 65 to 70% range, which is something that I think Texas fans will be very happy to have. Very happy to have, man. But that is something that we need to get better. So explosive plays are something that I love to track, something that we haven't been that good at since Sark's second year. Once we had Quinn come on board, it's about hitting that deep ball, man. We haven't been able to hit that deep ball. So that's one thing that, I want to share. Another thing I want to talk about when it comes to explosive plays in the rushing game, Sark's always been pretty explosive, when it comes to the rushing game. The XP rate in 2021, when we had Bijan and Rojo, 8.2%, right? So 8% of the time, Texas, when they ran the ball, there were plays that were 15 yards or more. So that's pretty high. And the same thing for the next season, 8.76%, right? But if we go and take a look at this year, 10.8%, and it should be 10.8, but yeah, so it's 10.8%, which is what our XP rate is when it comes to explosive play yards for rushing. And that's something that we gotta get done here, I think, for Texas, man. Let's take a look. One more thing I want to talk about, like we said here, the explosive play rate for passing. When Casey was here, look, almost 17% of the time, that was a play that was going 20 yards or more. Quinn's first year, 12%. And then from that small game, the sample size here, from the Rice game, 10%. So almost 11%. So we've got to get better on that, folks. We've got to get better. All right, folks. Look, if you want to dial in, you want to talk some ball with me, man, hit that link. And yeah, you can dial in, voice your opinion, talk about the team, talk about the game. Look, let's make it happen. Let's see here. Cal's back on.
So you're talking about explosive plays, and
Yep.
I think explosive plays are a good team stat indicator, and I agree with you that we got to get back to just getting these plays like how we had in the first year.
Yep.
But with regards to it being like a person indicator, I feel like it's kind of skewed where like the first play of the OU game in 21 where Quinn threw a screen to Worthy and took it down to the house.
Yeah.
That play is all on Worthy, but still counts as an explosive play for Quinn and Worthy and the team.
Yeah.
And I mean, me personally, I felt like Casey probably had more deep ball throws than Quinn had last year, and the one game this year. But Quinn definitely has a better arm talent. Like there's a video throwing 80 yards, I think, like as a high school junior, which is insane. And so he could definitely hit those deep balls, but he just hasn't, for whatever reason. Like maybe it's I honestly think it's mental. It's probably like a lot of mental thing, and I still know people on the team. Like I went to UTA, graduated last year, and knew a few guys on the team. So I can try and like ask them if it's like a mental aspect. But I noticed like in the Rice game when Nash put out the clips of I think the 6 or 7 deep balls he threw, he was pretty much all going off the back foot, like going back to his mechanics.
It's the footwork, man. It's mechanics. You're right, man. So me and Nash talk about that. Me, Nash, and Texas Homer, we were talking about that during the game where it's like, why is he throwing off his back foot? I mean, you can't do that at this level because everybody's fast at this level, right? So it's not high school, but yeah, I mean, he's so talented. I think he's so talented and so, I would guess, confident in his arm that he thinks he can make those shots. And it's difficult now, right? So I don't know what it is, man. He has to stop throwing up that back foot, but also it's the line too, right? The line has to give him time to step into those throws. And if he steps into those throws, I think he can make them.
Yeah, I think like maybe like one or two, just one of those like 1,000, 2,000, 1,000 pockets,
Exactly.
like there's like it's I didn't see a lot of those from off the top of my head from the game last year, but then that leads me to the second point where I was thinking, and it did work. It did work some last season. I feel like Worthy and Quinn, they were better on like the intermediate game, where Quinn keeps his arm talent to really just zip it through to the into the short window on when they time their routes, and then Worthy can use his speed, his agility, his quickness, or said speed is ready, but his quickness, his agility, to shift around the playmakers and do it, and you get some yak as opposed to trying that deep ball and having a 165-pound dude try and moss a DB where they're probably not going to call PI on that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man, it's going to be interesting. I want to talk about this comment here too. From Taylor. Well, not Taylor. Where's the other comment? But hey, Taylor, what's going on, man? So Ben put up a comment about X working out the slot, right? So he hopes that X works the slot versus Bama. Give me AD, Nayer, and Jonte on the outside. I think Sark has a lot of wrinkles in this game for X. X is the playmaker on this team. I think he has a lot of wrinkles for X in this game, just for the simple fact that his wide receiver room is finally healthy, right? It's finally healthy. We got AD Mitchell. We got Jordan Whittington healthy. X is there. Isaiah Nayer, Jonte Cook. You got a deep room, and plus the emergence of JT Sanders, which I don't think Alabama knew what kind of player he was last year because it was, last year was his coming out party. And so now they know you're going to have to put somebody over the top of him and make sure that he doesn't get deep. And now I think that's just going to let X eat some more, and it's going to let Mitchell eat some more. And Whittington should be able to come across the middle, which Whittington had a really good sneaky game last game, catching those intermediate routes, catching some of those deep balls. I mean, he had a really good game. He was 4 for 4. Every play was a first down except his last catch, but that was AD Mitchell didn't block on that catch like he should have, and that caused him not to get the yardage that I thought that he should have. But Whittington's going to be a dude.
I think Whittington is the X factor of his game, and also the season. He's making those plays like he's looking like the 5-star running back receiver hybrid that was coming out of high school, and he's finally healthy. I think he's saying he's eating well. So you're not getting the fats and the sugars to break down his body. I think he's the X factor. If you get him to space and just have him do work.
Yep, exactly. All right. Well, hey guys, anybody else want to dial in? Hit that link in my description, or it's going to be one of the pinned comments, man. But hey, Cal, thanks again, man.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate the call, brother.
Yep.
Let's see. I like AD being the factor for this game. That's good. I think so too, man. I like Adonai Mitchell too, man. he's going to be a guy. If we can just get the deep ball to him, I think he can go make a great play. I think JT Sanders is going to eat this game. I do. I think JT Sanders is going to do great things this game. I don't know why I got that feeling. I just got a feeling he's going to do good, and he's going to make a couple big plays. So I got JT Sanders being an X factor for this game. I mean, I just think we're so talented. We just got to be able to distribute the ball, right? That's the thing. So let's say Dustin said, I'm scared of our team on the road. They have not shown they travel well, but I think we beat Bama by 2 scores. I don't know about 2 scores, Dustin, but I'm here for it if it happens. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for it if it happens. Say our future at Quentin. What do you say? Low key. When he first got to Texas and they showed the clips of him throwing, I was like, why does he seem he's going through the motions? Oh, so you're talking about Quinn. Okay, Whittington is going to be nuts in the NFL. If he doesn't get drafted, he is going to be a steal for some team. I think Whittington gets drafted, man. I do. I think he has a pretty good season this year. If he has a good season this year, he puts up another 500-600 yards like he did last year. I think he gets drafted, whether it's later on in the rounds. Like I said, he's going to test well. He is a guy, Rob Babers talks about this all the time when he talks about Shanahan with the 49ers and how much NFL teams like positionless football, where, those are value picks, right? A guy like Jordan Whittington is going to be a value pick for a team, and if they get him in, like as an undrafted free agent, that's even more value. But I think in the later rounds, he's going to be one of those value picks because when you look at guys like a Debo, who plays running back and some wide receiver, you're looking at Jordan Whittington saying that could be him. Like that's him. He's that guy that if everything clicks and comes together, that's him. He's a guy that can play wide receiver. We have seen it. He's also a guy that if you need him in a pinch to run the ball some, he can do that too as well. I like Quentin saying he's a 5th rounder. I like that too, Quentin. I say a 5th or a 6th rounder goes to Jordan Whittington, but it's all depending on the kind of season that he has this year. So I'm excited for Whittington, man. He's just so steady. Yeah, so Nash says I think he goes between 4 and 7. Yeah, so that's about right. So there's Quentin. He says 5th rounder. So who is oh no, Quentin. No. No, don't say that. Don't say that, man. Let me take that off. I don't want the juju in the air, man. I don't want the juju in the air, bro. Let's see. Yep. I like Whittington here in this game too as well, man. Well, look, folks, man, this has been fun, man. If you guys want to dial in, hit that dial in button again, man, if you want to dial in. But this is the first time that we've done this little call-in show. I got to work some of the mechanics out. I thought we could be able to call and you guys could talk from the back screens, but I'm going to check on that again. But just let me know how you like this format. I always like to hear you guys' opinions. And sometimes it's better just to hear your voice, just instead of seeing you type the stuff up there, man. So, yeah. But look, like the video, man, while you're in there. It helps me out a lot. It honestly helps the channel grow a lot. I'm going to have more content out here probably tomorrow, and I got something up my sleeves here for Friday. So got a pretty big announcement on Friday. So unless we have any more comments, I think I might end this thing, man, because I got to get ready for Nash's show in about an hour. So I'm going to dial in for my brother Nash's show, man. I always show support between the content creators. But folks, on that note, man, like in all the podcasts, man, don't be afraid to feel like grow your environment. Understand your brilliance. Some horns are always up, man. Hook them. I'm out. Deuces. Peace.